down, the best way to help fund and support this channel. And I also have a Spotify, Apple Music you can listen to as well. Thousands of tracks and hundreds of ASMR EPs and albums, as well as my 2 online courses. How to run a successful YouTube channel and my online tarot reading course. So they're all on my website, links in the description box below. So let's begin. And today I just wanted to share this subject because I thought it was so important, and I want to reflect back on my life and now from here on out correct my mistakes, because I think that is so important for character and for life moving forward, to make life a bit easier, because life's already challenging enough, at times. So one thing is, I wish I would have focused on myself more sooner, and I'll start from there, because there were so many people that disappointed me, that were a grave disappointment. I've lost so many friends and connections, dates, relationships, whatever you want to call it, that I realized I had nothing but me all along through all those experiences. And had I known that sooner, I would have healed faster, and healing, truly profound healing, can come from just one day of a sudden epiphany. It really can. It doesn't necessarily look like sitting by the beach and meditating for 20 minutes, There's many different forms of healing, and healing looks differently for everyone. So I just kind of have to say that to start with. But yeah, so basically what I'm getting at here is there is a lot to learn in 30 years of life, and I realized that a lot of these people, most of the people I knew once, I never kept in my life. I don't have that long-term best friend. I don't have that long-term even friend or relationship. Whatever you want to diagnose me or call me, I've never had stable relationships, not even with family, and honestly, not even with myself. I think the most stable I am is when it comes to business. I'm probably more stable like that than with anything else. But other than that, I'm pretty unstable. And that's okay. And I've had to learn that. I've had to admit that, accept that, recognize that in myself, and love myself regardless. And, you do have to love you before someone can love you, right? Isn't that right? So, I think that's where the second thing is, where it comes from choosing myself and focusing on myself more, is loving myself more, accepting myself more. And I think that's advice anyone should get. Paco's right next to me, if you're wondering what was that. It just makes you realize also how short time is, and that, there's a limited time to even love yourself. So love yourself harder today than ever before, Give yourself that hug you're looking for, and just make sure that you accept where you're at now, that nothing needs to change like that. Change will come by you changing with time, okay? It's not gonna happen in one night, Healing can happen in one night. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Healing can happen in one night, but change will not necessarily happen in one night from an epiphany, An epiphany is just an epiphany. It's just like a thought, a realization, a sudden aha moment, So, I also wish, advice to my younger self, that I wasn't so damn strict in my routine. I wish I was more spontaneous, lenient with things, forgiving with things, less controlling. Because life is not so limiting and in a box in black and white like I like to perceive it as. It's more fluid than such. So, yeah, I think life is not that simple and straightforward either, as I hope it can be. So, yeah, just really looking back, I would say to myself, try to have a little more adventure and fun and try to live a little. It bothered me so long where people even told me that I needed to, or I was like a party pooper. I didn't have fun. I didn't know how to have fun and enjoy life, and like I felt like I couldn't enjoy life. I still sometimes feel like that. Like there's like the joy and enjoyment, the true joy out of life is like not here anymore, but that could be just because we're in the end days. Probably, most likely, allegedly. I don't know if we are, but maybe. It certainly feels like it. But yeah, it's just like I almost don't even want to focus on that anymore. I just want to focus on enjoying what little time, measly, sad, pathetic time I have left on this planet, because even if it's 40, 50, 60 years, that's nothing, This 30 years went by so fast. And I'm not discrediting that time as nothing, but I'm just saying it's very, very little. It's very limiting, and that in itself is limiting to the human form, And so I wish I could have just stopped rushing to be an adult. I wish I could have just stopped trying so hard to grow up. And live, live as a 10-year-old, as a 12-year-old, as a 15-year-old, for goodness sake, I used to think 14, 15 was old, 20, 21 was old. Oh my God, I was so dumb. So I'm like, now, and at 30, I'm like, I feel so young. It's so crazy. But it's true, how we feel older when we're younger. It's cray-cray. But anyways, so it's funny that we have different viewpoints in life, and I wish I was kinder in some ways, I try my best to be, but I'm not truthfully anymore just so easily giving of kindness anymore, openly to just anyone, I'm kind of closed off, I think, from hurt in my past. I'm not just so gullible or so quick to judge others either. I think stop judging is another important thing. I'm not nearly as judgmental as I used to be. And, also don't laugh at things. Don't make jokes, because that can actually happen. It's very true. Realize the power of your own words, that what you say will come to be, and know your own power. It took me the longest time to know my own power and my abilities, and to trust and believe in myself more. And that's not so much the problem anymore, but definitely always believe in yourself and stop worrying so much, right? Stop worrying, because I didn't think I'd make it this far, and here I am. So you just basically gain nothing by worrying. It doesn't serve you any good whatsoever to worry about things, And this too shall pass. All things will pass. Nothing lasts forever, including your life, including this earth, including the person you love. So relax, okay? Enjoy it while it lasts. Life is just one big gathering, one big party or celebration. Don't be afraid to really enjoy that a little, okay? Even just a smidgen of an ounce, okay? Because, people always fear, the good times will end. Yes, everything ends, though. So, try not to limit yourself, right? The sky is not the limit, space is. So, try to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to do things. If I was afraid to make ASMR in 2012, where would I be, right? Honestly, in all honesty. It's pouring rain like crazy outside now. And honestly, where would the ASMR community be, right? I know I've inspired a lot of people to make videos since 2012, and look at ASMR now. So it's just, you shouldn't ever fear to put yourself out there and to speak up and to say something, because it's all temporary and limited anyway. And so why not say it? You know, people are not going to remember you 5,000 years from now, so say it, do it, you know, say what's in your mind, as long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself, okay? So make sure that you know that karma exists. Every action has an equal consequence or reaction in this universe. So be wise with your actions. Don't do stupid things. You win stupid prizes if you do, okay? Play stupid games, win dumb prizes, right? So just treat people as you want to be treated. This is important. And see the bigger picture as well. Zoom out, bird's eye view. What is this really about? You know, think deeper. Think for 10 minutes a day. Just sit and think, you know, or meditate, or do something that helps you just process where you're at in life, what you're going through. And if you're feeling burnt out, rest. You know, don't overdo it. Don't overexert yourself to no return, because who's going to pay your bills if you're in the hospital? Exactly. So just relax. The bill will be paid eventually, right? Chill, okay? Most likely you're not going to go on the street. Just relax, okay? God has your back. The angels have your back. There's always a way, right? There's a will, there's a way. So set intentions. That's another thing. I know I'm going fast, but there's a lot I want to cover in this video in a short period of time. Set intents every day. What is this day going to be like for me? How is this going to look? Wow, from the time I wake up in the morning to the time I put my feet into bed, okay? Intention is powerful. It's key to manifesting your dream existence, and also to just having a sort of self-control with things, especially dealing with addiction. And I'll get to that. My next point is, do not be addicted to things, okay? I had my couple problems, you know, before, and over 2 years now clean, and so I just had to face the facts that yes, I was having a problem, and others around me couldn't see it, but I could see it. It's the opposite, right? Usually it's the others that could see it first before you. No, this time it was like me. It's because I'm a Virgo. It's because I know everything. No, but really, Virgos know. But yeah, so I had to realize, like, okay, you know, this is very limiting to my existence as well, to have an addiction, to be addicted to something, right? It's not okay. It's gonna ruin my life, you know, it's gonna just take everything from me and all I worked for. So I just had to simply snap out of it one day and commit that I'm going to not go down that path of destruction. So please, in your 20s especially, do not, try your best not to, and live a healthy, happier existence. You're much happier without those things anyway. Even if it takes a while, even if you feel numb for some time, in the long run, you're going to feel much better if you just live a clean, healthy, happy lifestyle. Choose wiser who you hang out and surround yourself with. This is key, especially if others have addiction problems. Make sure you surround yourself with healthy, happy people too. Misery loves company. We all know that, but you know, it's just sort of like, make sure that you choose in general wisely with anything you do. Again, you can be more lenient and have fun sometimes, but it's like you have to know yourself. Basically, learn about yourself first. Set values, set boundaries. You know, there's too much that can hurt you out there in this world. You know, and you definitely want to be safe, you know, and you want to be responsible. Buckle your seatbelt in the car, you know, look at your surroundings if you're in a city environment, you know, just things like that. And try not to put limitations on yourself. Try to just be the best version of who you can. Try your best today. You don't have to be perfect. Don't try to be perfect. But just allow yourself breathing room as well. Allow yourself downtime. Allow yourself that vacation. Again, the bill will be paid, right? Eventually. So don't worry so heavily on, things like I have to save for retirement, because by the time your retirement comes, you think you're going to be happy anyway? You think half these people are happy with their retirement, first of all? They don't even know what the hell to do with their life once they get 65, 70, 75. They don't know what to do with them. They're stuck, they're lost, they're confused, just as confused as you are now. Girl, boy, relax, okay? Your life is the composition of every single day. So take it a step a day at a time, okay? You don't need to freak out about a future that you don't even know nothing about, first of all. You don't know what 50 years looks like from here, so relax. Take it easy. But still, yeah, of course, put in a healthy amount of work and effort. At least try. As long as you're trying, God sees you. God got your back. But also another thing with God, don't be so limiting on yourself. You don't have to conform to one belief system or ideology. Have an open mind. I think that's what I would tell to myself. Probably the one thing I probably wouldn't tell others, because I know that's a sensitive field. But regardless, if this resonates with you, then why not that be the message for you, perhaps. But I definitely was not having as much an open mind at one point. I was starting to notice in my mid to late 20s. And it was, again, just me not being the happiest, best version of myself, finding just the lack of enjoyment out of life. And I think that kind of felt like it just killed a part of me a bit, or I was suppressing a side that just wanted to come up, was too afraid of the power that would hold by me just being my true authentic best self. And what I mean by best self is just the ideal version of myself, right? Definitely one thing that people should always do is educate themselves, and doesn't mean traditional school, but just be open to learning new things and constantly learn. Just because you're out of high school or college just doesn't mean that you stop learning. Read books, read more books. I look at my book collection that I've read and I'm like, this is nothing. I've read so many books and it's still nothing. It's like there's so much to learn out there, and definitely be way more open to more knowledge, okay? So, and I've taken so many classes, and oh my gosh, it's just it's there's never a limit to the room for learning, you know what I mean? Okay, so hit up that library, and order those books on Amazon. Okay. So, definitely continue exercising, continue your goals, continue maintaining your fitness, continue elevating your health so you don't live in regret when you're 70, 80, 90. There's so many people in so much pain and agony and suffering. There's so much suffering in this world, and health issues, and they're on so much medication. It's just sad to see. It's just there's just so much pain, and it makes me so sad. And there truly is a lot of pain in this world, and I saw that in meditation the other day, that there's just so much pain, and I saw all forms of pain, and it just made me so, I just imagine sending light to all those people, the whole earth, everyone going through anything possible in terms of suffering. I saw 50 different forms of suffering, from hunger to being treated poorly by their partner, to people in the hospital, to just horrible things, natural disasters, but then we forget that there's also that shine, that beauty in this reality, that good energy as well, that counters that bad. And it's hard to see the good when you see so much bad and hear about so much bad. But that's another thing I've had wisdom and advice I would give to my younger self and others along with this is, stop listening to the bad news. you know, it's just gonna be a vicious cycle for you and make you depressed and ill as well. Just allow yourself to open up to good energy, right? Just be willing to try, you know? I'll tell you, like today I woke up maybe not feeling my best and greatest because I was like, oh my God, I have so much to do before I go on this trip. And I just was not feeling that good. I was like, oh my gosh. But then I knew I had to do it. So it's just like I knew the positive was, you know, I'm going to have a good birthday. So in a couple of days. So I need to do this now so I can enjoy later, right? So yeah. Another word of advice, don't get into too much debt. Did I say live a little? Yeah, but don't live too much. Don't drown in debt because you're going to be a slave to that debt. It's not really a pleasant thing at all. It's very limiting, and get out of it and out of that debt as soon as you possibly can. Okay? And try not to get back into it. All right? So that's another word of advice. This includes student debt. Yeah, this includes that as well. Because, you know, people are quick to have a big education, and that's nice and all, but then it's like, okay, you can't even, you know, buy that house you wanted because of that. They do look at that as well, believe it or not. It's not as heavy as a factor, but yeah, it's very limiting, you know, to just always have that. And I know there's always like forgiveness programs and stuff, but that only goes so far. So, you know, just try to be responsible with and realistic with like debt to income ratio. You ever hear that, you know? Maintain your good credit score. I'm telling you, it gives you so much peace of mind. You can get any credit card in the world and you can buy any car in the world. Really, just make sure you, okay, maybe not literally any car, but you know what I mean. Anything within a reasonable price range in your budget, right? But nonetheless, take care of your finances. The finances will give you more freedom, right? That's something I would tell also. And I learned this all pretty quick, but I still like, I'm oversharing now because it's like I want to, you know, really reach out to a lot wider audience and say anything possibly that anyone could possibly say to their younger self. Because this benefits us all collectively, I believe. Don't worry about age. Don't worry about looks. Don't worry about that lip plumper, that bigger butt, those chiseled Kylie Jenner cheekbones. Like, how's she gonna look in 20 years? You know what I mean? Like, don't do it. Don't worry about it. Don't even think about it. Don't waste your money on it, first of all. That's super expensive. Yeah, the surgeon needs to eat too, but I'm sure they're doing fine. You know, they're doing just fine. So think about how beautiful you are today. And that's part of self-love, right? Are you only doing this for the paycheck? You know? Are you putting on a mask, literally? Are you doing this because you hate yourself? Seek counseling, therapy, any form of professional help when you need. That's another thing as well. There's no shame in that, okay? So just don't be afraid to get help. And don't be afraid to ask for help in anything in life. Don't be afraid to seek someone older than you for counsel, okay, and wisdom, even if it hurts to hear. I know it always hurts to hear the most from someone much older than you, but they're usually right. If they say something's wrong, you know what I'm saying? Alright, doesn't have to be older, but at least wiser, okay? And don't be afraid to, you know, expand your horizons. Don't be afraid to make new friends. Don't be afraid to break up with your partner if they're a piece of... You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid. Fear not, right? I used to have a lot of anxiety, so like I think that held me back. And I sometimes wish that didn't hold me back because it was so much stronger than I was at the time. And that was a big lesson, you know, not to let the fear overcome me. And I think so many people were living in fear 4 or 5 years ago. And that held so many people back to where they still can't recover today, you know? And so I think the fear makes you worse. The fear makes you feel worse. The fear makes you to the point where you feel so bogged down and you believe that little thing that's supposed to be scary is so scary that it actually has power over you. I can't believe we actually gave power to something so little we can't even see. It's almost like it's an imaginary thing, right? So, if you look up Dolores Cannon, you're going to see that, like, there's a lot of theories about, certain things I won't go into on here, but why do we give so much power to something so small? It has no power over us unless we give it, I even believe, like, we can be so powerful, no matter what we eat, we can still maintain health. Like, if you are in a certain vibration and you truly believe that nothing can harm you, you can be so powerful and magical that you are like light, and others may even not be able to see you. Sometimes you go in public and people are like, oh, I didn't see you, or oh, I thought you were a statue. Like, you're in a different vibration plane with that person, right? So different resonance, different playing field. So are you living your life in fear? I think that's the important lesson of the decade. Or are you still going to live and be free, right? And I wish I learned that sooner, and I'm glad I did pretty quickly. But yes, there are still things that can harm us, even little minuscule things we don't see, because sometimes, we're human and we get to a lower vibration and we are in fear sometimes, or someone tells us this is big and scary and it's gonna, harm us. So, it's hard to just not be human, right? So who am I to say that can't do damage? Of course it's done. It's hurt even, some of my family members, but I just don't like that thing caused so much damage to so many people's lives, and it made it to the point where everyone's talking about it. It's like the new trend, like, the new thing, like that. I wish it was never the it thing, the thing that destroyed so many businesses and so many people's lives and freedoms, and it just was destruction, and I wish that never happened, because I feel like that took so much life from people. I really do feel like it did. And even if people went against it and didn't do things and did things differently, it still took their life. You know what I mean? Nobody won. Nobody actually won. It still caused so much stress. It separated families. You know what I'm talking about, right? And no matter what side you're on, or if you're in between, I feel like it just affected everyone. And I think the important thing is, I'm never going to allow something like that to ever affect me ever again on that deep of a level, on that deep of a point of where I have to be afraid, I have to fear for my life, or I have to, now live differently all of a sudden because of this thing, because I have no choice. No one has the right to tell me what I can do or can't do with my own free will, my body, my living. And I think that's so important, that we all have free will. We all have the decision to choose. And I think when we all realize the bigger picture, that's powerful. And I think what I'm trying to say is, be smarter, think more, and know when to also at the same time let go and play dumb. You know what I mean? And I think you win that way. I think definitely being like 2 steps ahead is always the best outcome for you. And if something feels right and you're getting an inclination, do it, right? If as long as you're not hurting yourself or anyone else, obviously. If you're finding that new investment and you think it's like gonna go bust, but you feel like you should put your money in it, put a little bit, right? Because you never know how much it can prosper you in the long run. So there's a lot I went into, but basically that's pretty much all for this video. Yeah, eat healthy, eat good, that's the last point, I think. Eat right, okay? Don't destroy your health. There was a moment where I just wasn't eating that good, and barely eating at the same time. So, like, just treating my body like garbage, and you have to treat your temple with love and respect. And so you can follow this advice or not, but I'm here just to tell you as a reminder what you maybe have yet to work on or do, or maybe you're over 30 or 40, 50, 60, 70, and maybe some of this still resonates with you to this day and you wanted to hear this, then that's fair. But I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all very soon. TonyBomboni.com. Take care. Bye.